Hey guys, welcome to another installment of our virtual learning. Today we're going to learn about hubris. Okay, hubris is something that is pretty frequent in dealing with either heroes in Greek literature or tragedies in Greek literature. And you'll see the tagline down below there that says, "Pride goes before a fall." Hubris has a lot to do with pride. We'll talk about that right now. So first of all, what is hubris? Well, ladies and gentlemen, according to dictionary.com, hubris is, quote, excessive pride or self-confidence. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, so wait a minute. These heroes like Hercules, like Odysseus, they can't be proud of what they've done. They can't be proud of their accomplishments. That's absolutely not correct. Heroes can be proud. They often are proud individuals, okay? The bad things occur when they become so proud that they start to toe over the line to thinking that they're better than the gods. And as we have discussed several times in Greek mythology, the Greek gods, you didn't do anything that could even remotely threaten their godhood. So, long story short, no, it's okay to be proud of yourself if you're a Greek hero. It's hubris if you're so proud you start to think that you're better than the gods. Now, we're going to go through 3 examples of Greek heroes that suffer from hubris. And this is something for you to look out for on your next book with Odysseus. So we're going to be reading book 9. We've already started it. You guys are going to be reading about the Cyclops. And we're going to look at this twofold. One, you guys know you have to look at Xenia. Okay, the Greek concept of Xenia, hospitality towards strangers. That's going to be posted on Google Classroom for you. 2, you're going to need to be looking out for this concept of hubris. Does Odysseus display hubris? Does he display excessive pride at any point in time, rather? That's what you're going to be deciding. But first, let's look at some other Greek heroes. So the first hero that we're going to look at is Bellerophon. Bellerophon was this awesome Greek hero, best known for his work with Athena and the fact that he was the one who tamed Pegasus. He was the one who caught Pegasus and tamed him so that Pegasus could be used to fight in battle. He was this wonderful hero. The bad thing is he started to get a little full of himself, and he started to get a little excessively curious. In fact, one thing that Bellerophon did is he decided one day, well, I'm just going to fly up to Mount Olympus and I'm going to see what's going on up there with the gods. The gods didn't like that. One of them, I believe it was Zeus, ended up frightening Pegasus. Pegasus bucked, he reared back. Bellerophon fell off of Pegasus, fell to the earth. He was not killed, though. He was not killed. We've talked about this. The gods sometimes have worse punishments than death in store for the people that they feel have gotten a little too big for their britches. Zeus did not allow Bellerophon to die. In fact, he was merely crippled for the rest of his life. He was no longer the great warrior that he was. His pride, his hubris was he felt that as a mortal, he had a right to venture up Mount Olympus. The gods felt otherwise, and he paid surely and dearly for his pride. Another hero that we have is Arachne. Okay, you may be sitting here going, it's weaving. How is Arachne a hero? Well, first of all, if you're sitting here looking at the name Arachne, you might be thinking, that sounds familiar. It sounds kind of like arachnid, which is a spider. This is actually the origin story for the spider. Kind of cool, okay? So Arachne was this really beautiful woman who was very, very skilled at weaving. She was very, very skilled with the loom, okay? So much so that people said, wow, you're very lucky that Athena has gifted you with this talent. You should really pay tribute to her. And Arachne kind of brushed them off. One day, a woman came in and was very, very effusive, meaning big, in her praise of Arachne, and said, oh, you should definitely thank Athena for that. Arachne said, I would be better than Athena any day of the week. Well, one of the things we learned is Greek gods and goddesses like to go around in disguise. That's what happened here. Arachne did not know that when she said this, she was saying it to Athena in disguise. Athena then proceeded to challenge Arachne, who, though she blushed a little bit when she found out it was Athena that she was talking to, still had the audacity to think that she was a better weaver than the goddess of arts and crafts. So they got into a weaving contest. Athena wove this beautiful tapestry of the greatest accomplishments of all the gods and goddesses. Arachne took it in a different direction. Instead of weaving a tapestry of all the good things the gods and goddesses did, Arachne wove a tapestry of all the bad things that the gods and goddesses did. Don't get me wrong, beautiful tapestry, absolutely lovely work. Not something a goddess would want to see, seeing her kind of less than proud moment splattered all over the fine tapestry there. So Athena ends up cursing Arachne for her hubris, not only in thinking that she was better at a craft than the goddess of that craft was, but also for her brazenness in presenting the gods with their own misdeeds. This was not something, Greek gods and goddesses were not really reflective people or individuals. Sorry, they're immortals. Sorry, don't strike me down. They were not really reflective individuals. So making them confront their own bad deeds, not a good choice. So Athena basically told Arachne, hey, if you like weaving so much and you think you're so good at it, I'm going to make you the best weaver there is. And Arachne became the first spider. This is where she is the mother of spiders. Pretty good. Her hubris, she thought she was better than Athena at crafting. Additionally, she thought she had the right to challenge the gods in their views of themselves. Not good things in either case. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have Icarus. You guys may have heard the story before of Icarus and Daedalus. Daedalus was a wonderful engineer and scientist. He's the one who helped Theseus escape from the Minotaur. Because he helped Theseus escape, he and his son Icarus were imprisoned on a small island. Daedalus worked diligently, gathered feathers, came up with these ideas for these beautiful, enormous wings that he fastened together with these feathers and wax. And the time came years later for his and Icarus's escape. So Daedalus tells his son a few things. One, do not go too low. If the glue and the feathers get wet, you will not be able to fly. 2, don't go too high. If you go too high, you'll get too close to the sun, and then the wax will melt and you'll lose the feathers. Well, initially, Icarus is doing a good job with this. He is flying like his father told him to, staying kind of in that sweet middle section there. But then, of course, he experiences this wonderful freedom of being able to fly. Can't even imagine what that would be like. And he starts to soar higher and higher, and he gets too close to the sun. And the picture that you actually see up here on the screen is of Icarus after his wings have melted, and he plummets down to the earth and to the ocean, where he is drowned and he dies. Okay, his father ends up retrieving his body, names a nearby island where he buries Icarus, Icaria, and that is our story. So what is his hubris? His hubris is stepping out of the domain of man. If you remember, we read Prometheus and the First People, where Epimetheus and Prometheus were kind of putting their animals in their place. The gods decided that the sky belonged to the birds, not to mankind. Icarus stepped outside of that role. You might be sitting here going, why did Daedalus not get punished? Daedalus did get punished. Daedalus got punished, in my opinion, worse than Icarus. There are a few things you could do to a father that would be worse than making him watch his own son die. So in reality, both Icarus and Daedalus are punished for their hubris of stepping outside, again, the gods' expectations of them, outside the role of man. So, I have a question for you. Do you understand hubris now? What I want you to do while you are reading the part of the Cyclopes in the Odyssey, I want you to look for some moments of hubris when it comes to Odysseus. Where do we have a moment where Odysseus is clearly just too proud of himself? And think about where that moment is, and think about how that moment affects his journey as an epic hero. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure that you finish the Ed puzzle, and I will hopefully see you guys later. Bye-bye.